A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadel Cabrera. It is such a pleasure to have you joining us for a political conversation, a conversation that I hope will help our political leaders in making better policy decisions and informed political moves. I'm here with Herman Manyora. You have been away for some time. How have you been?
I'm okay.
Where have you been?
Round and about.
Kenya?
Kenya tu inazunguka. Kenya ni kubwa.
Kenya ni kubwa. Ama ulikuwa AU. But the conversation in the country is all about Raila'S loss in African Union chairmanship. And every pundit says, we saw it. You know, no one was saying it openly, but everyone's saying, we saw it. Was it that obvious that Raila wasn't going to get it?
There were three categories of people. There were those who genuinely prayed for Raila. There were actually four. Those who prayed for him to win and wished he won. There were those who wanted him to win, not because they loved him, but because for them it was strategic, for him to be away. There are those who wanted Raila to fail for various reasons. Top among the reasons were those who hated him because of betraying the Gen Z. So the revolution group, the Gen Z and the others, they prayed that he lost. There are those who wanted him to lose so that he comes back. Those who always hang on his coattails to win an election, like in Luo Nyanza. There are those without Raila, they would never win an election. They were praying he loses. So Raila went there with a mixed bag of prayers.
But I'm asking, was it that obvious that he wasn't going to win? Because I'm listening to everyone.
And there are those who reasoned and said he would not win. And there are those who reasoned and said he would win. But there are those who said he would lose badly. He didn't lose badly. That was a fair contest. He put up a good fight. In the first two rounds, he's the one who led. Well, they could have done better.
What went wrong? I was listening to someone yesterday and he was saying, I think it's Fanyamambo, he was saying Raila has this tendency of rewarding those who make him lose. If you look at the team that was there in AU, it's still the same team that is always with him when holding elections in Kenya.
I have said this many times. There are many reasons why you can lose an election. And therefore, there are many reasons why Raila has lost elections. But according to me, as a person who knows a few things in this country, top of the list of why Raila loses whatever he tries to. I'm not saying he could have won this election, but he could have done better perhaps. Top of the reason why he loses is the sort of people he puts around him. He doesn't ever get serious people. He never gets it right. No. Even now, if you give Raila prime minister, watch the people he will give jobs. He will give the most useless people jobs. Look at even BBI. They lost BBI because there were no thinkers in the team. They were just busybodies, people who, and the same people Raila will reproduce them.
Should you blame?
You see, we live in a world today where it's very easy to know your country, and very easy to know people. So if you are looking for talent, it's easy these days. You see people, you read about people, you hear about people, you watch people on TV, you know people. Interaction has become so simple today. You know, previously, it had to be people you interacted with physically. Normally, those will be relatives, close relatives, distant relatives, friends, people you go to church with or mosque with. But now the world has expanded the terrain from which you can source talent. So Raila never gets it right when it gets to the people. Never. He never gets it right. Never, never, never.
Hi there, my name is Nongo Njao, property consultant at 1442 Kusini. We are a new project coming up in South B, Sana area. We are close to Mombasa Road, about 700 meters to Mombasa Road. We also have a bunch of amenities around us, schools, hospitals, mosques, churches, and Capital Center is only a stone throws away. I will want to tell you about our one bedroom, which is going for 5.45 million, and our two bedroom going for 7.45 million shillings. Our two bedroom is a master and suite, and all our units feature Adobe areas.
How about the president? I was asking you that. Should we blame it on him? Because everyone is talking about Kenya is feeling diplomatic-wise. The president, since he came, he has been feeling in every single angle. Looking at DRC, why did he even call Macron? Should we now look at the president and say, yes, you supported him financially, but you're also the reason why he failed?
You know, people saw me in that team and said I was part of the campaign team. I wasn't. And I made it clear. I'm not saying because he has lost. They had a forum in which they invited some people, like us, experts. But that's all, a once-off forum. If I had been part of this team, there were fundamental issues I would have addressed. And I think I mentioned them during that forum. I mentioned them. So I'm not just saying. And people like Olembo, they will know I mean, even the PS, they will know I mentioned. No, PS came out after I had spoken, I think. But Olembo was there and the others. They knew I said it. There are two issues. One will be Raila'S, the age factor. You have to deal with it. So people thought it's just denying, it's not all. No, it's more than that. It is capturing the narrative, it is the communication. What should Raila say and what should he not say? Because if you begin to give the history of AAU and you are 70-something years old, people like Benji Ndolo will want to make it even 90.
Yeah. I see him hitting
As if they will never get. You know, sometimes I look people and laugh. People like those, they think they are children. Yeah? At Benji's age, I had children who were almost almost his age.
Oh.
But that's beside the point, because Benji is a very good friend. You know that.
Yes, yes.
Very good friend of mine. We joke a lot. So I can joke about him on air. He won't even feel anything.
Yeah.
So what you say will confirm the fears people have about your age. So those are the sort of experts I'm saying Raila ought to have had around him. People will tell him, much as the history of AU is good, don't go there unless it's in a very clear context. Because people will confirm he's not about future. He's about old Africa. But the people are so stupid because without that knowledge where we started, why it should be OAU.
Yes.
Why it failed, it became a club of people protecting. Without that history, without the dream of people like Kwame Nkrumah, the Pan-African dream, Africa will never go, because we departed from that dream. And Africa will never move forward. That Raila knows it so well. But that's not a narrative you want to drive when people already say you are too old. So I'm saying he did have people of that caliber, not Manyora.
Yeah.
But people of that caliber who can tell him, steer clear of these kind of things, of the history of OAU and that. Bring it on very mildly, in very clear context. The other thing, like you're asking about Ruto. Again, they didn't have people in the team who will tell him to take a needle and a thread and sew the president's mouth until AU is over. And you need a man who can tell him, don't talk anything diplomatic. And don't ever do anything that touches on another country.
No one was there to tell him.
Who can tell him? Only Manyora can tell him. Because we need to sit with the president and tell him. Forget about mambo ya DRC. Sasa unapigia France simu unampigia. Look at how much it cost. Look at the blunders of BCJ. Look at all those things.
BCJ.
They cost us. They cost Raila. So, but you need a man in a team with the courage and the conviction and the brains to sit even the president down and tell him, for now mzee, ngoja kwanza, wacha hii mambo ikae. Wacha Raila ashike hii kitu. Akishashika now, you can go blast. But for now, everything you say will have a bearing on the campaign. And obvious. Those are some of the reasons why Raila lost. I'm not saying he would have won. But look at how he started. Number one. Meaning, if some of these countries had not felt offended, already some blunders had been planted on Israel and Sahrawi. Those are you can undo them during the campaign. Strategically and cleverly. But you do not make fresh blunders. We made about 3 fundamentally fresh blunders on DRC, which now gave the excuse the SADC countries needed not to vote for it. They needed an excuse. And the DRC provided that excuse. You get it? So, I was answering your question about the men and women you need when you are going at war. War is not for everybody. You take people to war when they see at the first sight of blood, they faint. And that's what Raila is doing. He's recruiting people to go to war. People, the moment they see the first drop of blood, there are people, if they see blood, they faint.
Yeah.
You know that, eh?
Yes.
Even in an accident. Don't always rush to an accident before you know who you are. There are people who faint and are rushed to hospital.
Yes.
So Raila makes that blunder. He's going to war. Instead of recruiting warriors, people with warrior blood, he recruits people who will see blood and fail.
The other conversation is the people, still speaking about the people that are with Raila or some that support him.
Yes.
We publicize this thing a lot. According to PLO, some friend, I think a president from some country, called him, asking him what is wrong with Kenyans. Look, over 100 or 200 people in
Dancing in
Ababa,
Addis.
Kenya Daima singing, you know, as if this is a Kenyan election. What would you say about that when it comes to dealing with diplomacy, when it comes to campaigning?
It is like dealing. Those who play a game of cards and poker. Or in a deal, deal making. When you are negotiating, the art of negotiation. Even when you are winning, never put it on your face. There will be enough time to celebrate. The gambler.
Yeah.
There will be enough time
To celebrate.
That is one thing Raila and his people always miss. When you are winning on a negotiating table, they say you start with the sun, but you'll be happy with the moon. So you are looking for a deal in money. You say, I want 10 million. But that's the sun. If the man comes to 5, is the moon, you will accept. Then the man settles on 7. He accepts 7. He can break the deal. He can refuse.
Yes.
He can realize.
I've been conned.
I was buying something one day somewhere, and somebody said it was 60,000 shillings, and I was about to negotiate to 55, but I was with some lady who also was buying other things, and that lady decided to walk out. She didn't like what she was buying. Me, I was still on mine. So in order to follow, I said, this man, you are too expensive. I can only give you 20,000. So no, make it 30. He said 20. I ran away. In other words, when you are winning, you don't show it on the face. Somebody can withdraw. Something begins to look suspicious. So in Addis Ababa, we were dancing in the streets and in restaurants. Kenya yetu sijui nini. No, you wait. There will be time enough to celebrate the gambler. These guys have heard country music, they know.
Yeah.
When you are winning, you don't put it, you put it's called stone face. It's called?
Stone face.
In the negotiations. You want 10 million, you are saying, in your heart, the sun is 10, my moon is 5 million. If he gives me 5 or 6, I'm deal. I will accept the deal. Then the guy says 7 or 8. Don't show it on your face. Atajua kuna kitu. Maintain the stone face.
Yeah.
Until he gives you the 8. Or he takes the 8.
I think we saw that with
the
the Djibouti candidate.
Yeah.
No one saw that he could win. It was no one saw
Yeah.
the face. He was like
Faceless.
4 or 5 people
Yes.
there with him.
Don't you think they can throw a party if they wanted on the Mediterranean or whatever? Wherever they want to throw the party, the Indian Ocean, they can go there and celebrate. They can order cruise ships zikuja wakitaka to celebrate. They can use $200 million to celebrate, can't they? There's always time to celebrate. Our people invaded Addis Ababa. You saw my friend Gaucho. I should call him after this.
He was there.
In a nice suit. I've never.
Even Gaucho was there.
Yeah. So again, the value of the people. I'm not saying Gaucho has no value, but I'm saying even the MPs who went, what value are they adding?
Yeah, true. And before we wind up, just talk to me about Raila now. Everyone is thinking, especially those from his bloc, this man, we thought he'll be the president of Africa. He was probably to be president of Kenya. He hasn't won anything. Is there something you could say to them that are thinking, maybe this wasn't for Raila?
No, elections are elections. Please, you can win or lose. This we lost. Sometimes it is monkey business or rigging. That's local. That's Kenyan politics. People do rig and mess elections, but it is a clear elections. It is presidents who are voting. If they didn't find us deserving, the Djibouti person was more deserving, let's accept it. I don't think Raila feels anything the way some people are trying to feel. The candidate himself knows asiyekubali kushindwa sio mshindani. The candidate himself, I've not talked to Raila, but I know he knows this is a contest. You win or lose. He lost, and I'm sure he's living with that. But other people want to feel more hurt than Raila. I know it happens.
You know, you look at it, he hasn't won Kenyan elections, and then so many people were eager to call him president of all presidents here in Africa.
It was going to be a good thing. It was going to be a jewel for him. It was going to be to crown his political career. It may not be what we think it is.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Yes.
But believe me one thing, Africa has lost. I know the guy from Djibouti says we have lost nothing. Africa has lost nothing. Africa has lost an opportunity. Because Raila was going to make a contribution that it will take Africa many years to get somebody to make. A Raila AUC chair of 5 years would never leave Africa the same. Never. There are going to be paradigm shifts and changes. Raila was going to introduce certain changes that will put, I'm not saying completely change Africa, but start Africa on a trajectory. Because he has a vision for Africa. He has a dream for Africa and the world. And even if the position wasn't, I know people take on me, say Manyora thinks that's a useless position. Sometimes positions are as powerful as the men or women occupying them. A Raila chairmanship will produce for Africa what 10 other chairmen to come will not produce. 10 of them in a row. Djibouti, here it will be North Africa. They will not. To get a man of Raila, this is a chance of a lifetime. A Raila is a chance of a lifetime. And that's why I always feel very bad that Raila allows opportunities to be messed up by busybodies, by conmen, buccaneers, profiteers. A man that intelligent should have the capacity to read, to know busybodies. I have never understood why. And he's not alone. Many of these leaders are like that. You get surrounded by people whose work is just to make you happy. None of them can ever stand and tell you, mzee, hapa, hii tunalala hii. Paka tubadilishe mkono. You need a few men who can look at you in the eyes and tell you no.
And that is his big undoing.
His biggest undoing, not big undoing.
The
biggest undoing is the failure to identify a team. And that tells me, even if Raila became president, maybe he would not have achieved as much as he should have achieved. Even this dream of AU. Because AU is not about employing Kenyans. But you need a few Kenyans around you who can energize your project. Who will he bring? The same people. They will not energize. He has a dream and a vision. But you will need to draw a team from Kenya that will help you to pump energy into your project, Project Africa. So that they also help you to fish talent from across the continent. But if you begin with the wrong people, how will they help you identify the right people across Africa? And this goes not just to Ruto, to President, to Raila. It's a Kenyan problem. It's a Kenyan problem that once somebody becomes president or is given an opportunity to identify a team, he just looks around himself, sister, girlfriend, cousin, brother, sister-in-law. And then when they go outside the circle, they remain in the tribe. And even within the tribe, they never look for the best. They look for those who will sing their praises. When they go outside the tribe, they go out, they look for kings. The way it used to be in feudal Europe.
Yeah.
We are operating the way feudal Europe used to operate. When a king's daughter wants to get married, they must look for
another lord somewhere.
Another somebody from another royal family.
Yes.
Spain, Netherlands, France, England. Those are where kings are.
Yeah.
So the kings. So finally, and it's like cross inbreeding. And this is what these people do. If you go to Kisii, you are looking for family and Nyachai or related people. You go to Western, you are looking for the Mudia Warriors. You go to, that's how it works. They never go beyond that. And that's why the country lacks energy. There's nothing we can do because there's no energy. If you don't have the right team, there's no project that can succeed.
What's next, though? What's next? That is my conversation with Prof. Manyora. Tune in for that one. Thank you for tuning into this one. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.